I'd also like to take some time to talk about Swerve Buys. And, basically proof, like for the beginning of the first half of the week, um, like it was just a monster of like the approach anxiety monster, whatever, dominating. And then I was like, hey, okay, I'm just going to get a little more concrete in how I want to do this, like 5 swerve buys per week. How do I want to do it? And also I'm gonna go out today, and I'm not coming back until I did at least 3 swerve buys, right? And basically I did a little update right in the group, which was very, like factual, I guess.
Mm,
And but like more importantly than that, I think I had a very profound experience. At least it felt so profound to me, and it was open through swerving by. And I took some notes when it happened, and basically I experienced like swerving by as a way to engage with my surrounding, to be affected, and to also show
mm,
affection, and like to notice and be noticed and to show up. And it was especially like very strong for me because I have this introvert part, or at least when, not being intimate with somebody, like I have more like an introvert feel. And I think we talked about this before, that um sometimes I don't speak up when I could, or
mm,
sometimes I could, tell my story, just stand up there and tell my story, and, like express myself, instead of just being, the silent guy, and observing. And, the moment will pass, and so will the day. And so I really liked myself being out there and
mm,
engaging with people. Like I liked myself as the man who did that, like I want to be this guy. And
mm.
I know you're more like this, you know um but yeah, like for me that was like a beautiful meditation almost,
Yes.
uh being out there and engaging.
Engaging with the world.
Yeah, being mischievous, connecting on a very, like on one level very surface level, on the other level so deep and intimate right away, even it was sometimes only like a swerve by for like 5 seconds or less, right?
Mm.
um that was.
Do you like just poking at it? Is it seeing yourself become the man who is engaging rather than before, like quiet? Or are you also speaking to the part in which you show appreciation and like you're giving to people? Um, what is
Mm,
it?
I think it's both of them. I think it's really both of them. And um yeah, like because you also sometimes talk about like step, I think, two from the swerve by, like expressing your uh like your experience as a gift to the other person.
Yes.
And that's just such a beautiful thing, like also with the guys, especially, to be honest. Like it was very special, like seeing the guy there, the father with his baby sitting there. And it was a special moment. His baby is never going to be like exactly that size again, in that position in the middle of all this chaos in Copacabana, just sleeping there in Wonderland, on one of his, like forearms, the whole baby, here. And just looking so cute. And the only thing I did again, like just retelling, probably not as authentic, but I was just pointing at the baby. And you know, being really touched and doing like this, you know, and he was just smiling over all of his face, being so proud, being a dad, you know, and wow, came back after a while. The same, like there was some stairs, and he, you know, like he just nodded at me and and said like have a nice day, like in Portuguese, and it was like really very subtle, of course, you know, like but so touching. And what if like my whole life becomes like that kind of a vibration, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's
you
the power of the Swerve By, and it's more than, you know, it's a very practical thing you can do. But I announce it. The whole philosophy of how I look at relationships, connecting, seducing, moving through the world, you know, living your life is in it, is really in there, you know. And
Mhm,
so that's a great example of a Swerve By right there, you know.
mhm. And you know, like that also in this context, just met this girl last night, and a half a year ago or a year ago, I would probably be thinking, oh shit, you know, now I set this goal, Swerve By to create some abundance, to grow as a man, and but now I met this girl, so I don't have to swerve by anymore. But no, no, now I'm gonna swerve by even more, because also when if I was with her, I want to be the guy engaging, you know, but
Mm,
by my side, always being sure like she's my queen. But
mhm.
she should feel like I have the abundance, you know, and like and I chose her, you know, I choose her all the time.
Yeah,
And that's how I want her to feel. And and so like swerving by becomes more important now than ever. And like for the record, like there was also a few, you know, like really a few fuck ups. Like one time the first one was terrible, like the guy with a Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt, and basically I just kind of blurred out, but I was not centered enough, so I said something in Portuguese which didn't make any sense whatsoever, even especially because it was too loud, uh like it was too fast, and yeah, just like the energy was like I guess slightly off. But after that I just smiled and I was like, hey, you know, like I did it.
yes,
And from now on, actually, I will swerve by in English. Like I will
100%.
English, clear energy. And if they're then like, oh, I didn't understand, like okay, you know, I will already get their feedback of, you
Yes,
know, oh, they want to, you know, engage, and and I'll do my best to express it in
that's a
Portuguese.
good point. Like you just express in the way like it's good for you. Like guys will ask me this, you know, like they will have even their opening line, you know, do you speak English? They will say, you know, which
Mhm.
is which is kind of like it's a it's a fear-based reaction almost, you know.
Yeah,
And it instantly, like, first of all, the words you use are not important. It really is the energy, you know,
yeah,
and the words are a tool for that, you know.
yeah,
And when you say things like, "Do you speak English?" Yeah, it's instantly a woman will like you're asking permission, you know, and you're asking a question, and you're like,
right.
and women will use it to say no, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Instead, I always say, don't ask that. Just start speaking in English, you know.
right.
Start speaking in English, and then if necessary, you can go to the different language, you know. But don't ask it. Just do it, you know. Just speak in English, and you'll see the woman who's interested in you, and it's your energy, you know. She will either try to speak English, or she will say, I don't speak English, you know. And then you can shift.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's like, don't ask permission. Just say it. Say what you want to say in the best way you can say it, you know? And often, what's happening there? And often that means just say it in English. I use it all the time. I use English even though I could speak Spanish, because it's a selection. It helps me select for the girls that like me, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like I will speak especially in English because like I'm giving them an opportunity to, if they do speak English, that they're like proud of it and want to share with me. It's a way in for her to, to show that she likes me and she appreciates me instead of the other way around, you know? When I set myself up for failure, do you speak English? Like, do you see the energy? There's a complete shift there. Like, and I say to guys always, don't don't ask a woman, does she speak English? Just speak English. It's a way better way of dealing with a situation like that.
Yeah, wow, uh, I really share your opinion. I like how you put it, express this. Um, yeah, like it really is asking permission, and I don't like the energy of that. The second like energy with the deduction, I guess, happens for me when you have a prepared line again. Like, I mean, I guess there is some application for that or whatever, but it also takes you away of the moment, and it takes you in the head instead of your body. um but yeah, um as you said, in the end it's not important like what you say, but like uh completely the energy. So yeah. And another situation that happened was
Let me say one more thing to that, just to the stretch of that, Like I was out years ago in Brussels with my friends, and I was getting into this and realizing, it doesn't really matter what you say. And the guys were like, what do you say to a woman? We were in a club, I remember it. I said, it does not matter at all. So I was in this, it doesn't matter at all what you say. It's like completely how you say it. And I was feeling in that moment very good because I saw that my gift was being received. So I had great energy. And as I'm saying this, a girl passes by and I said, look, and I opened her with this phrase. I said, like literally something like that, complete nonsensical, like no words. And I still remember the girl goes, what? You know? And I said, you see? And then I continued talking with her, and it was great. And it was just my energy, just my energy, the being welcomed by my friends, feeling good, being confident, sharing that with the girl, like being able to manage it with it, not being afraid, and it was just completely opened the doors, and the guys were like, "Ah." I said, yeah.
dark
So
magic.
yeah,
Oh my God, this is fantastic story. I
yeah,
like it. That's like that's are some things I thought about. Okay, how can I add a personal touch or do like little experiments, in this, like swerving by, like that would be a cool experiment to just, like also
yes,
in a way talk some nonsense, and but when the energy is right, and you know and really see. I have some other experiments lined up, like very simple ones, like complimenting a guy on like his outfit, or paying,
yes,
also just walking around and like actually not talking to anybody, but like really tune into like how do I feel affected, like how much do I notice, a girl standing there like waiting for the light to turn green in a carioca summer dress, and the wind or whatever, just how do I feel affected actually. And then, because what comes then is like how do I express that, right? And
mhm.
but like really one key skill for me seems to be to get more affected. And I remember your essay you sent me by the great philosopher you worked with. um
Latour.
the Yeah. And
It's I think the greatest insight here for you is you want to see and know yourself as a man who's engaging with the world, and like, and can give, you know, that way. That will then, if you see it that way, you know, then the swerve by becomes a tool to explore this, you know, it becomes a tool to become more of that, you know. So you're in, and then you have the liberty to start experimenting and like start carving out the Dennis that you want to be, you know. I think is you're in a great place, and it's 100% intended that way, you know, the swerve by method. And yeah, I'm happy you use it that way and see it that way.
I appreciate it, my friend. Do I have time for one more short comment in that? Oh, thank you.
Go ahead.
So because you know that there was two small situations where I wasn't fully expressive and in my energy. Like the first one was I was just standing outside waiting for an Uber to pick me up, and I was even on my phone checking like, okay, what's the license plate? And this girl walks by Friday evening, and oh, she was beautifully arranged, and our eyes met, and it was just, you know, she smiled with her whole, like she saw my chin drop down, and she just smiled over her whole body, you know, like I'm not sure if I've seen that before. It was just like I like how you like me. Like that's what she like that's what she was saying. And but then she like I didn't quite respond. Like I was just, you know, like in frozen, but in a good way, like not scared or anything. And there was guys and people like right behind her, but she was not with them. But it was like a public place, and up to that moment it was intimate, but I felt like caught in the sense of, or you know, I felt like captured in the sense of shit. Now I have to like engage, like grab her hand or whatever, you know, like I'm just saying something, or saying something, you know, clearly directed at her, and everybody around will notice, you know. So I didn't do it, and she was like, I just said, I think Ola or something, and but it was not very strong, you know,
Mhm.
and so she could have even misheard it. I'm not even sure, and she just, you know, she small walked and smiled and walked by in her high heels, and I
Yeah.
was like, damn. And so like in this type of situations, what do I fucking do?
Yes. Well, you describe it, and I wasn't there, but so, but what you could have done, maybe. So tell me if this sounds like a possibility. Um, what you could have done is call her over,
Yeah.
and instead of you going there, like do something like,
Wait. Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
that would take into account the whole like situation, and is less intrusive and less, you know, going there.
Right. Okay. Okay. I mean, I was also thinking of, you know, just basically running after, you know, which is, you know, which is kind of a boyish energy, whatever, which is kind of a,
Yes,
wow, uh, you know, but still, it could be very, you know, like I just had to, just had to find you, and
100%.
yeah, you know,
I've
and go ahead.
I played with that energy because it is a good energy, and I learned this from guys in Poland. But I played with the energy of like, it is so, it with time it became so much harder for me to be affected, that I would play with the energy when it's there, call it forth, amplify it, and then use it to go in. I would
Mhm.
let women that like walk and walk out of my life and really feed that energy. Like, she's gonna go away. You'll never see her again. You let her walk out of your life, you know?
Yeah.
And then let her walk out, let her walk away, let her walk away. I remember doing this in malls in Poland, you know, and like let her walk away. And then when it's the last moment, like start running, you know, and come in with that energy, you know, of like like put her even alert, like put the hand on the shoulder, turn it around and say, you know, and come in with the breathless kind of energy, you know. You were about to walk out of my life, you know, and I didn't want that to happen, you know. So here I am, that kind of energy, and it can be very powerful.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, and because like it happened to me again. I was sitting in a coffee in a like a coffee place. I was having breakfast, and there was this girl in fitness outfit, you know, like she just came from the gym. I love this about the city. Like oh, it's so sexy. Um, and she was talking to a guy there who was working there, and it was like I could see it's, you know, a friend or, you know, somebody she knew, and she was looking over, you know, and I smiled at her, and then my friend said, okay, I'm gonna be here picking you up 1 minute. So I was like, damn, you know, like I cannot interrupt their conversation just like that in the middle of the restaurant, like where everybody was, you know, like just I cannot pull that off. And or I, you know, that's what I said to myself at least, right? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna wait in the corner and I'm gonna check, you know, like if she's heading this way, I'm gonna, you know, like I'm gonna catch the opportunity. And then she didn't come. And my friend who said 1 minute, he arrived 8 minutes. And at minute 7, like I saw her on the opposite street with a Jews walking by. She saw me from here. I know it, but she just went right on. Like that was my punishment. You know,
Yeah,
you knew what was going on and you didn't talk to me. And I was like, shit, you know, ah. So, you know, like,
that's
yeah,
that's a great way of seeing it, and great that you admit it, because that's what I see. That's what I see. You know, women will punish you for not seizing the moment. You know, like not punish you, but like be disappointed. Like, why did you not show up? You know, we both knew there was something. Why did you not do your part of showing up?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that in itself is a great motivator. I
Yeah,
would use that one too. I would let women, I often did this, like I let the first one walk away so I would feel really bad about myself. And then that would give me energy to not let it happen again.
yeah, because, you know, like really, 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 what if that, you know, could have been the woman of my life? Damn, rather give me like a shot in the head, you know? Like I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy, like, you know, getting at it. And so yeah, I actually started a list with like writing down these situations where I didn't show up, not as
Mhm.
punishment, but as a motivator. And so as of now, the Swerve By list is bigger, but yeah, so okay. Thank you so much. I took notes. I'll send you integration right after this call.